Alright, so in this video I wanted to cover my top 10 worst sneakers for 2021, and this is going to be an interesting one. I feel like some people are going to be rubbed the wrong way just because it might be their favorite sneakers, and other people are going to maybe agree. But at the end of the day, I wanted to give you guys this list, and so let's go ahead and get in. What is going on, guys? Hess here. Hopefully you're having a good day out there. If you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you guys haven't used my website, Collective Kicks, post a bunch of sneaker deals for you guys on a weekly basis, so go check that out. So we're going to get right into the top 10. I do have like 5 or 6 runner-ups that I figured I'd mention, and I'll get to that before the top of the list. But again, this is just my personal opinion. If you guys have a difference in opinion, just drop a comment in the comment section of what the worst sneakers are in 2021 in your opinion. We're going to start off by making some people mad. The number 10 spot, unfortunately, and this is a tough one for me, but the Nike CDG Foamposite 1. This was one of those shoes that I wanted to like. The price point, obviously $510 or whatever. I paid $540, I think, for mine shipped. Outrageously expensive, which I knew going into it. But synthetic leather on the upper, I was just like, what? Why would they use synthetic leather on the trim? It just made no sense at all. The creasing on the back tab of that was terrible. Any day of the week, I would tell you guys that the Penny Foamposite is my favorite sneaker model pretty much of all time. It's not that they butchered this model, because the new upper design that they went with is really dope. I really like what they did with it. I think the biggest flaw to me was the fact that they used the Penny 1C bottoms with the Foamposite Pro tongue logos. To me, that rubbed me the wrong way, because it showed that they didn't know the difference between a Penny Foamposite and a Foamposite Pro, and they were just slapping it together. I don't know. To me, it was a fail because of that. At the end of the day, because of the price point and the lack of premium, number 10 spot for me, worst of the year. I really wanted to like that shoe, and it leaves a void, a big void in my bank account, but it leaves a void for me knowing that that shoe wasn't delivered with the proper care that it should have been. Number 9 spot on the list goes to the Nike Crater Impact. Now, I feel like I'm picking on this sneaker just because I did a review on it at the end of the year, but it was pretty terrible on feet. At least in my experience, I went with the intent of putting those on and thinking there was going to be some sort of comfort going on there, but it felt like a wooden block under your foot. Like, it was like a cheap wooden block at that, a recycled wooden block. But a $100 price point at the retail on those ones, it's just a shoe that I thought was done extremely poor. And you know, it's kind of like, it has the Roshi Run effect. It looks kind of like a modernized version of a Roshi Run. But for those OG people that have tried Roshi Runs, have you tried these Crater Impacts? Because I mean, I'm telling you, they're not it. It's not comfortable, and it's just a big miss in my opinion. I think that the Crater Foam in general is a big miss. They're trying to be something that they're not capable of doing at this point, which is trying to bring like a good green product to the market. The Crater Foam is not it. It looks cool, great story, terrible execution in my opinion. Sorry, Nike. Love you guys still, but number 9 spot. I'm not quite done, Nike. Number 8 spot goes to the Nike Vapor Max Evo. Now, this is, again, another one of those shoes that was like, cool, they're drawing inspiration from the archives, a couple older models here and there, but it's just still a Vapor Max model with a really skinny Vapor Max midsole that they need to just expand it, man. Make a wide foot friendly Vapor Max midsole. Just too small, too narrow. It looks kind of like a muffin top to me, like a little skinny midsole and then a big old like upper on it. It doesn't look proper from the backside. Any which way, it's just one of those shoes. I like the idea of it. The box was amazing, really, really dope box. The execution of the shoe is mediocre, unfortunately, and I actually ended up returning mine. Number 7 spot goes to Nike Air Force 1. This is the Swarovski Crystal one, or I don't even know how to say that properly. Swarovski Crystal. These things look pretty wild with the overlays over top of the Air Force 1, but when you take off the outer shell and the armor of this thing, it's literally like an Air Force 1 in black and an Air Force 1 in white, made with like some screws in it to hold it all together. I wasn't that impressed with it, and unfortunately that $450 price point is nuts. Some people are definitely going to disagree. I get that it's like a fashion statement sort of pair of Air Force 1s, but if you want to be fancy, but most people are just going to be okay with just white on white Air Force 1s, and that's what I would recommend for like 90 bucks instead of $450. Number 6 spot, in my opinion, goes to the Yeezy Basketball Knits. I mean, I haven't tried them on. I saw Seth had a video and I didn't even watch it. It's just not even a shoe that I'm interested in looking at. I just don't feel like this is a good looking model. I don't know if it would be good on the court for performance, but all in all, like, you look at it and you go, no, pass on that one. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the craziest part is these things retail at $300, so yikes. Definitely not a pair that I'd be trying for $3, but to each their own. And getting into the top 5, number 5 spot, it goes, in my opinion, the Air Jordan 14 Shocking Pink. I mean, I get pink shoes. I like pink shoes. I have a lot of them myself. But this one, it didn't do it for me, man. It just makes the 14s, which is one of the last loved pairs of Air Jordan models out there. Anything above a 14, some people just hate on. Regardless of that, it's just not a good looking colorway in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of like a furry or something. Not a good look in my opinion. Even pictures of them on feet, I was like, nope, still not good. It's just one of those ones that I haven't seen a redeeming quality to as of yet. But again, if you guys disagree, drop a comment on something else that you guys think is ugly out there. Number 4 spots. I'll leave Jordan Brand alone after this, but 4 spot goes to the Air Jordan 11 Animal Instinct. I can't not talk about this one being on the naughty list here. It's just a terrible looking pair of Air Jordan 11s. It might be the worst looking Air Jordan 11 to date, and that model is not really one that they touch a lot of the time. So the fact that they like covet that model so much and then they throw this zebra print on it and it just looks terrible. I don't know what they were thinking, and I apologize if I know anybody over there that was a part of this project, but I'm just thinking in my head, you won't let Doernbecher do an Air Jordan 11, at least that we haven't seen so far. We have up to Air Jordan 14, 15, Doernbecher, but no Air Jordan 11. We don't have any collaborations with the Air Jordan 11 because it's such a coveted model. And then you guys release these. It doesn't make any sense to me. And definitely not a good looking pair of sneakers in my opinion. But again, some people out there really probably love this sneaker and there's no offense. Hopefully you guys don't take offense to me not liking them. It's just not my favorite. Number 3 spot on the list goes to a pair of sneakers that not even a double collaboration could save. And that is the Nike Blazer Low Sacai. Doesn't matter if it's the Sacai version. Doesn't matter if it's the Sacai Cause version. This one is like the top 3 for me, worst of the year. And I tried to like it. I bought them. I was like, no, it can't be that bad. I bought them, tried them on feet. Every time I look at them, though, I'm like, man, that they just needed to do a high top version of them. The low top version just doesn't work for me. But to keep that same energy, when somebody takes an Air Jordan 1 and cuts the top on it, I didn't like that look either. So it's kind of like that brought to the mainstream on a less loved model and done in just such a weird way. I just can't get past it, and because of that, the double collab didn't work for me. I feel like that might be the first Nike collaboration or double collaboration that will go under $100 on the resale market, just because it's just not sought after. There's some people that really like it though, and that's totally okay. I think that it gives you the opportunity to buy like a Sacai or a Cause collaboration at a really affordable price. So I'm not hating on that for sure, but it's just not something that I really can get behind. And I've tried and tried again. It's just not something that I can find myself liking. Unfortunately, number 3 spot. All right, so the number 2 spot on my countdown goes to the Yeezy Knit Runner. And this is one of those shoes that I think people were interested and intrigued to see. And even myself, I tried them. I did a review on them. But man, I can't get past it. It's just one of the most ugliest pairs of sneakers on feet. Wife actually was like, are you joking me? Is this like actually a real thing? Because she was just like, what are those sort of vibe, right? One of those moments. But at the end of the day, it was just not a good looking model, not a comfortable model even. Like the foam runners are pretty comfortable on feet. Like I was thinking that these would be the same. Nah, man, they're not comfortable at all. They're just weird feeling on feet. They got really dirty really easily. And that little weird tucked in part in the midsole, I can't help but put googly eyes on them and make a little smiley face. And now I'm scarred for life because I can't not see that smiley face on that side of that sneaker. And the fact that there's a resale market on that sneaker for double retail and then some, it's just crazy silly to me. Because, if they release a bunch of different colorways of any of them, they would go down to water down nothing in my opinion. But again, maybe it's just so future forward fashion that I just can't like even fathom it yet. For me, it's a no-go, and $200 at retail, those Yeezy Knit Runners is not it, and number 2 spot for myself. All right, made it to the number 1 spot. Before we get into it, though, I have a bunch of runner-ups that I just want to rattle off and get off my chest. Hopefully that's okay with you guys. Some of these ones I actually really like, and some of my own I just wanted to mention because other people mentioned these are ones that they did not like. So with that in mind, the first one, the Nike Dunk High Ambush Flash Lime, I actually really like that one. I did a review on them, but it's definitely a colorway that is not sought after. For premium materials, that thing's not even going for, I think, $200, which is nuts. So it's under retail. Nice looking model in my opinion, but again, people are not feeling it. Another one people aren't feeling that I own, the Nike Air Max 96 Supreme with the little windows on the sides. I have the silver bullet version of those. Shout out to Jen for ooping me a pair. But people are definitely not feeling the open windows on the side. And speaking of that, you have the Clot Kiss of Death Air Max 1s. Same feeling on that where you have that clear toe box section. Anytime you have exposed feet, I think that scares people. Some of y'all have ugly feet, I'm positive of it, so I'm sure you don't want to show it off. But at the end of the day, it does look a little bit weird with that little window on a lot of sneakers. You have to step up your sock game in order to even make it work with the sneakers sometimes, and for that reason, I think that some of these sneakers scare people a little bit too much. Another noteworthy one on the list, the Nike Space Jam pack in general. And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but Space Jam, pretty big deal, obviously Space Jam 2, but the whole release of all of the different Nike sneakers, it just felt like a crazy media storm. Chance for them to try to sell us on everything from Air Force Ones to just other regular products that just didn't even need to exist. And most of the designs were pretty mediocre in that whole entire collection. And speaking of mediocre designs, the Halloween pack for 2021 as well from Nike, lackluster at best. I didn't like any of it. The Air Force Ones, even the Pressos. I love the Pressos. I love black and orange. I was not even interested in those, but that's just my opinion. Two more that people hated that are worth noting. The Nike Blazer Mid Ready-Made. I actually own a pair of them. I think they look kind of nice, but definitely a shoe that fell off. The exaggerated swoosh thing was only good on the off-whites, apparently. And then the last one to note is the Billie Eilish collaborations, the AJK01 and the 15s. Kind of lackluster, in my opinion. The ones were pretty plain with all one color. Obviously the same vibes for the 15s, but it's still dope. She got a collaboration regardless, and it sounds like she has some more stuff cooking up with Nike in the future. So getting into the number one spot on the countdown, worst sneaker of the year, in my opinion, goes to the Adidas Forum High Kerwin Frost. And I'm like, what are you guys doing with these releases? It was like, I don't even know what to say. Like, he did the Superstars, which were also really crazy. But this Mr. Potato Head looking sneaker for $250, it just, I don't get it. I get creativity. I get expressive freedom that you can have as a creator. But like, you have an opportunity to create something with Adidas, and this is the stuff that you're bringing to the table. And nobody at Adidas is going, maybe these aren't the ones. Like, I don't understand. I feel like I'm definitely not the core audience for these sneakers, but what I will say is that doesn't mean the core audience is not looking. And it's important that you have something that is somewhat inclusive when you're releasing a pair of sneakers. I don't know who the inclusive people are that would like this product. So am I the only one? Or, I mean, I feel like I miss the mark on a lot of stuff. That's okay. I mean, I admit that I missed the mark. I don't know everything that there is to know about sneakers, but I feel like they were taking like the Jeremy Scott realm of Adidas sneakers and then mixing it with like In Living Color or Saturday Night Live or something like that, and just throwing it together like a mockery of something that is extreme. It just didn't work for me, and for that reason, number one spot. I do like the Adidas Forum, great model. I don't know much about the Kerwin Frost guy, but definitely not a pair of sneakers that I'm interested in. Leave a comment though and let me know what you guys think of my list. What were things that were totally off base? Leave some comments of things that should have been in their place instead. And I appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, drop a like in the video. And got a bunch of random top 10 lists this year, so hopefully you guys are enjoying them. There's so many released sneakers this year though that I couldn't just do one top 10 list. This is one worst list, however. But yeah, check back and see some of the other videos. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more videos. All right, peace guys.